In the past week, I've gone through 3 GoPro batteries. I'm now down to 1. I had the original GoPro battery, and then 2 other ones that I had bought, and all 3 of those have expanded, so they're dead in the water. This one I bought 6 months ago. It's one of those longer extended use batteries. Hopefully it lasts for a little bit longer. I need to buy new batteries now. I've gone from 4 batteries to 1 battery, so that's my morning. How are you doing? Everything here is pretty darn okay. So, and I've got a story here actually from the company here, but Matt bought this. It's 3 Keys coffee, and the 3 keys are the trumpet, because the trumpet has 3 valves and keys. So it's basically what it's named after, the 3 valves on a trumpet. And it's very jazzy, fun. It's got a couple of weird things on the website here. Here it says juicy, wild, and punchy, which, you know, that's cool. On here it says there's a flavor: mixed berries, raisin toast, and pineapple. And then down a little further there are notes, which are apple, banana, strawberry, and floral. A very mixed bag, trying to throw you off the scent, I think. But this is a Colombian roast. You can kind of see here, this is where they are in Colombia. And the origin story is interesting. Mosto anaerobic processing is how this coffee is processed. So it involves the whole cherries being submitted to an extensive 72-hour fermentation in plastic tanks with laxatives, which sounds like laxatives, but it's not, from a separate fermented mash of Java coffee. So it's kind of like, it says here, it's kind of like a sourdough starter culture. So they put the fruit in a sourdough, or in a Java culture, the fruit, and then they let that go for 72 hours, and then they pull the beans out. It says that it helps impart an extra dose of flavor in the coffee. It helps jumpstart the extended fermentation process. So these are fermented for 18 days in the sun in raised beds, and then they're allowed to sit or rest for 30 days in airtight bags to stabilize. That's a lot of things going on for this bag of coffee, and that's why it was $25 for what, is it 12? Yeah, 12-ounce bag. $25 for the 12-ounce bag. Goes on to say the coffee is the brainchild of the Bater family of El Vergel estate in Colombia. Shady and Elias Bader are 2 brothers that have been leading the charge as far as innovating on various coffee process styles and leading the way in these new and interesting takes on what coffee can ultimately taste like. And then this is based on John Coltrane, Stardust is the theme. They actually, on the website itself, I don't know if it has it here or not, but you can actually go through and there's like music. Oh, there it is, Stardust, right there. You can like play the music while you're drinking the coffee, and I assume that heightens the experience. 2 pounds or 5 pounds. I'm excited. So, yeah, apple, banana, strawberry, as well as mixed berries, raisin toast, pineapple, and then it's juicy, wild, and punchy. I'm excited. He found this because he was looking for, doing the coffee thing, kind of upgraded. We're kind of going full bore now on the coffee stuff. Certainly don't want to leave the Chemex behind because it's an absolutely wonderful way to make coffee. What he did was he was just looking for black roasters who have roasting companies. Kind of like I believe Cafe Graciela is here in the Columbus area. He was just looking a little bit more globally, and they're from Texas. This is done in Texas. 3 Keys Coffee LLC, Houston, Texas. And immediately, it's kind of like almost like a spicy scent. And then sweet, fruity, kind of interesting smell. That's fun. Not like any coffee I've ever smelled before. So it's just an extended, interesting, fun fermentation process. 3 Keys Coffee, and as you can kind of see, they had a bunch of different types of coffee. This one seemed the most interesting, he said. Beans are neat looking. We're doing this in a filter coffee, but we'll still spritz anyway. I need to get the pressure off that. I'm not using enough pressure and I keep putting the lid on. And the lid is what creates the pressure, so. My cousin was over this past weekend. We went to the Xenia Fairgrounds for the toy show, and it's 7 buildings just full of toy vendors, and it was absolutely fascinating, fun, and fantastic. All of those F words. I loved it. It was great. We had the most wonderful time. So many toys. I bought some stuff. I'm going to try to do a video on them soon. He bought 2 things that he was looking for 2 things. He found the 2 things, which is fantastic. I don't think he broke the bank on them. You know what? If I were to describe the smell, it does smell juicy. It's a juicy smell. There's also a very familiar smell that I'm smelling that I can't quite place it. So this is 33 grams ultimately. So we're gonna, this is a light roast. So we're gonna drop it like it's hot in here. And try not to lose any. Try. The cup will hold up to, did it go on the floor? I'll find it later. Oh, there's a couple left. This cup will hold almost 45 grams, as long as everything is distributed fairly evenly. So, we're actually doing pretty good right now. Oh! Bean went in the cup. Son of a gun. That's where it went. And now, ooh, hello. Dish is full. That's why I put that dish there. Just put you in there. And no beans escapee. It's a weird noise. Oh well. Okay. It didn't boil over, or it didn't get over, well, I guess it got a little too hot, but that's why I put the spoon holder there, so just in case that happens. And that was a little violent, a little bit more violent than I'm used to. Anyway, so that's where the bean went, so good. I'm glad we found that. Just like the last time, it popped out and went down into the cup. It was hilarious. All right, so we're gonna do this, and it is, as stated, 3 Keys coffee. This is Stardust. It's a Colombia, I think it's Arabica. Yeah, 100% specialty grade Arabica coffee. It's the sliders here are funny because they're whole notes on a staff, basically. So nostalgic, avant-garde. We're very avant-garde because this is not just fermented. It's fermented like a sourdough, which is fairly, and it's I can picture the process in my head where they just take the coffee cherries and then they put them in a tank that already has fermented coffee berries and mucilage in it, and then they let that kind of ferment, just like a sourdough, just like you keep adding sourdough to your sourdough starter, and then it's down here on this end of the light roast. So it's exciting. We're having another trash company come today around 12:30 to pick up the stuff. Round 2, they seem a lot more receptive and easier to talk to, apparently. So that'll be good to get rid of that stuff. So we're gonna try it again. The other company, it's funny, radio silence. Like the day of, I think they tried to call. Didn't leave a message. He tried to contact them again to be like, are you guys coming at any point? Radio silence. Absolutely nothing. No one, nothing. They have a website and everything, so it was really weird. It was a strange interaction, and oh boy. Spicy. I wish I could get the fruit smell. But very spicy. I would say the pineapple almost I would totally agree with the pineapple, at least in smell. 200 grams. We'll pulse this up to 400. Cliff, I was going to say, my cousin Cliff, he asked, what is this for, basically? And I kind of gave him the rough breakdown that it's a chahi. It's meant for Japanese tea, serving and whatnot, putting the tea in the cup or tea in the pot or whatever. The coffee community kind of uses it now as a presentation device. This is what we use to measure. Basically, we could use this to measure on the scale. We could use this to measure on the scale. We could use that kitty cup right there to measure the beans on the scale. This is just... I feel... because someone started using one of these and it was visible and everybody else is like, I'm going to do that too. Generally, that's how trends start. Trends start with, somebody seeing someone else do it elegantly and they're like, I want to elegantly do that as well. It's the same reason when we went to the toy fair. There were a set of 6 pencils. It was a pencil set. It was 6 pencils from like the 1960s. The plastic hadn't been open. The little cardboard strip at the top was still there. It was a little faded, but it was for the Green Hornet. It were 6 Green Hornet pencils in a case that had not been disturbed or opened or cracked. It was just a little faded. And I want you to take the next couple of minutes. Well, we'll take the next couple of seconds, and I want you to talk amongst yourself. And I want you to guess how much that pencil set, the price sticker on it. I'm not saying how much someone would buy it for. I'm asking how much the price sticker was on 6 pencils from the 1960s, Green Hornet. The erasers couldn't be used anymore if you tried. Probably painted in lead. So just think for a couple more seconds while this does a drawdown. This is drawing down really well. That's a good setting for filter coffee. So I had it, what did I have? Oh God, I don't remember what I had it on. I think I had it on 65. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean this thing out. I was doing some more, trying to work with the naked portafilter more this past weekend. And someone brought up something. I thought that because this has pressurized, apparently it's just something that the Rock uses to make espresso. It's not a, because I mean, and as we've discovered, it's a completely different system. It's a completely different system that has to have different values and different extractions and different grind settings and different pressures and whatnot in order to make coffee. It's not, it's very slightly related to, it's adjacent to everything that's done in a mechanical espresso machine. So one you plug into the wall that makes steam using a boiler, so it's completely different. It's like 2 separate columns. It's adjacent. I guess that's what I'm saying by adjacent. So, all right, so drawdown, really good. It's about 3.5 minute drawdown. I'm very happy with that. 400 grams at 3.5 minutes. Sounds nice to me. Yeah, boy, it's just there's juicy. Juicy's a good descriptor for it. Pineapple is also there. It's got a very zingy smell to it that one could almost call pineapple. I'm hoping a lot less for the raisin bread that was described in one of the descriptions. I don't like raisins, so I'm hoping for less of that. Pencils, $700 for 6 pencils with a Green Hornet on them from the 1960s. $700. And that's tip of the iceberg. There were a lot of things. I saw for the first time at a show, and I've been to a couple of toy shows, usually at CTS, and then like various toy vendors that kind of pop up at different Comic Cons. The first time I had ever seen something like that. On top of the first time I had ever seen anything over $1,000 written on something. There was a set of villain figures from Secret Wars back in the 90s that were $12,000, and there were 3 of them, 3 villains. I don't remember the villains exactly. I think one of them was Magneto. I don't remember the exact villains. Maybe one was Doctor Doom. I don't know, but it was a 3-pack. And of course the card was a little faded. The plastic does what it does. The bubble around the figure has started to yellow, which is what they do. $12K. Fascinating. Fascinating. All right. Coffee. Beautiful color on that. This is a light roast. And again, this is the Stardust, the Three Keys Coffee Company. Spicy. Okay, yeah, when I said spicy, when I first smelled it, it translates into the coffee. Yeah, I do get, usually they're not very clear, the taste. Even when they put them on the side, you know, it's like, I'm not getting that. I am definitely getting a lot of fruity, funky. It's very funky, very funky. In a good way, not in a, I can't drink this way, but in a good way. I get a pineapple-y kind of taste. It's very subtle, very, very notey. It just, I don't really taste any raisins, which is good. Definitely very fruity forward. Oh, yeah. That's really good. Yeah, avant-garde. I mean, yeah, this is, it's fermented like sourdough for 72 hours and then sent out to dry and ferment on raised beds still, for like 20 days. And then it sits probably after being washed and whatnot, it's probably put in a storage bag for that last 30 days in order to give up the rest of its ghost. If it hasn't drowned enough already, And it just makes it a very funky, interesting, fun coffee. I would be afraid to try to make this into an espresso. I don't know what that would do. We may do it tomorrow. But again, $24 coffee, if I don't have a dial-in number for you, it's probably going to be 3 tries, and then I'm like, you know what? You're just going to be filter now. Especially with a 12-ounce bag. Stardust, Three Keys Coffee. It's a Columbia, they're Roaster of the Year finalist. That's really cool. So this is single origin. They do have blends in there. I think Ecuador, Colombia, and somewhere else, kind of like a blend. Several blend coffees, but this one is $25. It's 340 grams or 12 ounces. It is whole bean, and it is really nice. It is really fun. It is really different. It's really good. Recommend you give that a try if you like filter coffee. If you got a pour over, I definitely give that a shot. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. Everything's outside and waiting for the truck to arrive. So hopefully they show up. It's supposed to be around 12:30, so I'll be kind of doing the father shuffle up here, waiting for them to arrive, seeing how they arrive, what they're driving, and yada yada yada, all that stuff. It's awkward enough as it is getting any kind of a big truck back here. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.